Hello, this is Gio. Hey, look what I have here. I have this Mickey Mouse wind-up toy that plays Farajaka. It has a little wind-up in the back. It is from the Illco Toy Company. Now, I did some research. The Illco Toy Company was founded around 1947. Hit some hard times in the early 90s, went bankrupt, got bought up by Tyco Toys. And I think the name sort of disappeared in the late 90s. But they were extremely popular toy company that kind of specialized in a lot of wind-up toys like this one right here. And this one was, you know, to help babies or toddlers or what have you go to sleep. This one plays Farajaka, but sometimes they play other lullabies. This one's Mickey Mouse, but they had a number of similar wind-up toys. Basically, they do basically the same thing. There was a line of Sesame Street ones. There was even the Smurfs, etc. There was a whole series of these. They just basically changed the face, the arms, the legs. Now this one works fine. Basically, it does a peekaboo. This is a peekaboo type. Its arms go up and closed. And here, let me wind it up for you here. And you can see, well, it's kind of working. It's one of the problems. It doesn't really, here, let me stand it up. So you can see that the hands and arms kind of go out, the feet work. This one does not work, but I could kind of feel it. If you depress it a little bit, you can feel when it releases. So there's something wrong with this foot. Also, it doesn't seem like it goes fast enough. I think its arms and legs are supposed to shut more quickly, so I think it's probably gunked up. So what I would like to do today is open this thing up and see, one, if I could fix this foot, and two, if I could just get this thing working better. So let's get started. Okay, so to open this up, it does look like it has 5 Phillips screws in back. It's kind of a narrow hole, so I had to pick a specific screwdriver that actually fits in these holes. It does look like there's some stress fractures or cracks right here. I'm not sure if that, maybe it fell or if somebody tried to stick a screwdriver in here that was too big. But we are gonna try to remove these. And again, this is probably spring powered, so I'm hoping things will just not pop out once I open this. So let's go ahead and use a screwdriver and remove these screws. Okay, so I'm gonna open this up really carefully and just see if anything pops out. It looks pretty easy. So I just opened it up. There's the music box, and here's the mechanisms. Okay, so looking at the mechanism, it looks like, so the music box generally powers it. Zooming in here, you see along the wheel of the music box, there's this little gear attached, and that moves this thing. And that's essentially, if I could get it going. So you can see 1, 2, and then 3 little blades go around. And these little blades, what they do, so that attaches this little plastic piece right here and pushes this whole mechanism up. And as the music box moves that gear and those little 3 blades, each one of those blades pushes this up and then sort of releases it. Pushes up and then releases it. And you can see there's 2 springs here that help the mechanism fall back down. Now it does seem the springs are fine, but as you push it up and lift up, it's kind of slow to come back down. And that's probably just a matter of lubrication. There's a lot of grit in here. And if I clean things up, that will probably fall down better. So after I lubricate it. Now the issue with the left leg, I'm losing the ear here. Don't lose the ear. There we go. And these look like they just lift off like that. These are all screwed in, it looks like, with Phillips screws. Yeah, and they're pretty rusty too. So I might see if I can replace all those screws. But as you can see with the left leg here, when this one moves up, you can see this leg moves with it, but this one does not. And you can see that this little plastic piece right here, and there should be another little plastic piece on the other side. And on this lower portion right here, there's probably a little bar that fits in between two little plastic pieces, and that would move just like this would move, as you can see here. And so that's the damage. And so I'm gonna have to try to get this piece out and somehow repair this. Maybe I'll put in another little plastic piece, or maybe a wire that could fit in here and move this piece along, but we'll see what we can do. Okay, so you can see that there's a little squared off piece here, and this fits right in. So I'll just put these aside. Okay, so I got all the parts out except for the arms, and you can see the issue here with regard to the broken part. Now this one has those two little arms, this one only has one. Again, I'm pretty sure I could, you know, either put some kind of a secondary arm there or replace the whole thing. But these screws are giving me problems, so I'm gonna have to try maybe some pliers to try to get those things out. Okay, so I'm not having any luck getting those two screws out of there. And because it's fragile plastic, I really don't want to put too much force on it. Even if I tried to grind these things out, the screw would still be in the plastic arm, and I'd have to try to figure it out. So I don't want to damage the plastic. So these are in pretty darn securely. So I don't see any need to remove those. I think I could do this repair without removing this part. Okay, so my solution was pretty simple. I just took a paper clip, kind of bent it and cut it into size so it kind of wraps around the plastic part. And I just simply super glued it in. And I think that will be strong enough to move this part. At least I hope so. So if we stick in the leg again, put this in the right position. Now, there's no screw underneath it. But as you can see, it does kind of rotate with it. So hopefully it will work out well. Let's put it back together and see what we get. Okay, so I reinstalled these screws here, and you can see they both work independently. Now to reinstall this main part here, we want to be careful. There's a little bar right here that fits into this little mouth there. There's another one right there that fits there. So we just got to make sure that when we place this thing in here, that they're in the right position. Like this. Okay. And then these little springs here get folded back. These springs get folded into place there. Just like that, and then replace these two screws. So if I got everything right, so basically if I move this up and down, everything should work. And it does. Even this leg does too. It's a little loose. Well, we'll see what it looks like in front. That looks really good, and it actually drops a lot faster. So let's see what happens when we put back in the music box. Okay, so for the music box side, I'm just going to use some electric cleaner, which is pretty benign. It adds a little bit of lubricant, but doesn't really gunk anything up. It should make things run a little bit better. Let's see what... Okay, I did find some replacement screws. Hopefully these will work a little bit better to seal up the box. And so we'll just put this gently. Oh, wait a minute, I have to remember the ears. Do not forget the ears. Here we go. And there you go, all put back together. I did touch up a little bit on the red and the black, where it was kind of like there was some spots showing of the white. So I did use a little bit of translucent red on the arms and belly just to kind of hide some of those areas. And of course, I just used standard black on the black, but it looks a little bit better. Let's wind it up and see how it runs. And there you go. You can see the left foot is working. It seems to shut faster. It's not sticking as much as it used to. I think this is the speed the toy is supposed to run, but of course it's supposed to shut its eyes really quickly, and it's doing that now. And so this is a successful repair. Well, I hope you liked this video, and if you did, please hit that like button at the bottom of the screen, and even consider subscribing to my channel. I have many more videos to come. Bye-bye.